first today, as the country starts to mark the 80th anniversary of VE Day, the end of the Second World War in Europe, we're looking at how that war affected the lives of British children. Ricky's been to meet Heather, who was evacuated when she was just 4.5 years old.
I didn't know that once I got on that train, my mother wouldn't be able to visit me for 6 months because that was the rule.
This was what was known as Operation Pied Piper, a plan the British government hoped would keep children safe during World War II. Hundreds of thousands left their homes and families to escape the bombing of British cities and towns. They were sent to the countryside, and for many, the separation was painful.
Imagine having to pack your bags and say goodbye to your family with no idea where you'd be going, who you'd be staying with, and how long you'd be away for.
Heather was evacuated when she was just 4.5 years old. She boarded a train at Southampton and found herself here at this village hall in Dorset.
We were sat in a semicircle, and then I remember a lady standing behind the table said, "I'll be the first one to choose." And she started to come round, and I was looking at her shoes. They looked very frightening to me, and I thought if I look down, she won't choose me. And unfortunately, they did stop in front of me. The lady chose me. "I'll have this one, please." And I was quite terrified. And that's how I landed up in the vicarage.
This was the house she was evacuated to.
Heather, here we are.
My goodness me.
Heather's grandchildren, Lucy and Amelia, came with her to see it again.
I can't believe this. Really, wow, it does look totally different. Not like it was when I was here.
How does it feel being back here?
Even though I was only 4.5, and you relive again some of the moments.
Heather, what did it feel like being sent away to somewhere that you didn't know, and you didn't know the people that you were going to be spending time with? How did that feel?
I can remember standing on the platform at Southampton, and I felt a bit embarrassed because my mother had put my best pink coat and hat, I had a little hat, and waiting for the train. I do remember actually getting into the train and sitting in a carriage with other children of about the same age, and we didn't speak.
Did you know why you were being evacuated at that age?
I mean, I knew about the bombing because living near the Spitfire factory, I'd been spending ages in the shelter with my fingers in my ears because of the noise. Yes, it was the noise, it was frightening.
So, Nana, when you were evacuated, how do you think your mum felt that she wouldn't be able to see you for quite a long time?
Oh, I think she would have been devastated when somebody told her, "No, you can't go and find your daughter. In fact, we can't even tell you where she is." I think she would have been devastated, yeah.
It was the biggest movement of people in British history, and for many children, like Heather, evacuation had a huge impact on the rest of their lives.
Well, when we were going to go back home when it was safe, there was a problem as far as my father was concerned. He was Scottish from Edinburgh. I couldn't understand him. I was 10 years old.
You weren't used to hearing that accent, were you?
Yeah, and that continued for some considerable years.
Separated from loved ones for months or even years at a time, Heather's story reminds us that sacrifices were made across every generation, no matter how young.
So